Well, he's no stranger to controversy. Alex Stein of Primetime with Alex Stein. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me. You're right. Cenk does not like me very much at all, but at least OAN does. I love you guys.
Well, we love the antics that you throw yourself into. And the RNC, I mean, do you think they'll ever let you back into the RNC? And speaking of which, are they going to let you into the DNC?
Well, that's $1 million question. And, I have reached out to Laura Trump, who I'm lucky to call a friend of mine. So everything's okay with the Trump party. But again, Trump might not be running. I mean, he's not going to be running for president. Hopefully he wins this year, then he won't be able to run for president again. So I don't know how much that helps me in 4 years, but I think I can get back. And I am planning on going to Chicago for the DNC. I'm not going to be able to get in. But, if somebody, I just learned this, and this is for those internet sleuths, those investigative independent journalists. If you have an RNC or DNC in a small town like Milwaukee, all you have to do is really hang out at the airport. I ran into a bunch of celebrities just at the airport, a bunch of big-time political people. Sadly, Chicago has multiple airports, so I can't just sit at the airport and confront Lori Lightfoot. But that's just a little tip. You can always run into very famous people at the airport.
Well, certainly, those are great tactics for investigative journalists and guys like you. Josh Shapiro, on the more serious side, Josh Shapiro does seem like the consensus pick, and he seems to check all the boxes.
I think that's a strong possibility. I mean, right now in this country, you can just kind of openly be anti-Israel or anti-Palestine. It's kind of very weird how divided we really are, and I think it's foreshadowing World War III. So I wouldn't put it past the voters to not show up and support Josh Shapiro because of how tense things are in the Middle East. So, yeah, that could play a big factor in it, definitely.
Would you actually, if you were Trump, would you actually debate Kamala no matter the network?
Oh, of course. I think he just said that because, Kamala was not the official nominee and she wasn't voted in. And at any moment, she could probably be switched out. But I think her just speaking extemporaneously, she always puts her foot in her mouth. I mean, the other day at the prisoner transfer, she was, bumbling, stumbling, couldn't basically put together a coherent sentence. So, yeah, I mean, it's just obvious that she's not talented enough to go speak on her own. So I think he just needs to talk to her and let her talk her way out of it or into it, however you want to call it, because she's not very eloquent. Definitely not as eloquent as Donald Trump. Well,
it makes you wonder. She rose through the ranks in California. Perhaps she was always like this, but there were some snippets and glimmers of videos of her speeches from past where she seems a little more sentient than she is now. And I don't know if it's the alleged pill popping that she is engaging in now or, the upping her dosage of alcohol consumption on a daily basis, but something's going on with the way that she's speaking, and it's not, Joe Biden's problem, which was age. Something else is happening, and it just seems so baffling that the media is just now all in on covering for her.
No, Chanel, I had to say that. I mean, I do think, and I've never been vice president or president, it's probably very stressful. She probably is on some sort of antidepressant or anti-anxiety medication. I think that's not that far out of a conspiracy because you're right. When she was younger, she did seem sharper. Even on the debate stage when she was combative with Joe Biden, she seemed, she had some chutzpah, she had some spark. Right now, when she talks, she does sound like she's heavily medicated. And whether that's prescription medication, that still affects you the same as if you're taking some sort of illegal medication, which I don't think she is. I'm just saying I think she's on some sort of antidepressant or anti-anxiety medicine that makes her functioning a little slower and just, not as sharp as she was a short time ago before she became vice president.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.